In today's video, we're going to be discussing the trail shoulder and elbow in your downswing, a real vital area to help deliver the golf club more consistently with speed to the golf ball. Make sure you check out this video. So as mentioned there, we're going to be focusing on the movement of my right arm for a right-handed golfer, really focusing on the shoulder and the elbow at the start of the downswing. And it's a real vital part. And you'll have seen me do an exercise at the start of the video there, just using a training aid here from PMG. So there's a couple of these on the market. And it's just really to work on that trail elbow position. And I'm just going to start with mentioning what sounds like a very technical term: internal and external rotation of this trail shoulder. And just put simply, this is external, this is internal. So if my arm was coming in towards my body, that's internal rotation, this is external. So on my backswing, I'm creating external rotation here, and this is external, this is internal. So we are definitely creating external movement here of the trail shoulder in the backswing. And what we're trying to do at the start of the downswing is maintain that. Our arm, our shoulder is going to be working internally, but we're trying to keep it external for longer. So those who are going internal very early would be a very steep swing, throwing away lag. We'll tend to see this flying chicken wing elbow position. So we're trying to maintain this position where almost our elbow is staying low below our wrist for a little longer in the start of the downswing, almost feeling like my trail shoulder is staying back. And that's what this is helping me achieve. Okay, so I'm just holding it there. This is looping around my trail arm. And importantly, this handle is actually for my lead hand, my hand that's closest to the target. And what you'll see, for me to keep this trail shoulder external a little longer, is my hand has to be moving a little bit forwards, okay? And that helps me keep almost my hand up high and my elbow nice and low in that transitional movement that we want to see. So the elbow is staying low and it's working down in front of my hip. And from the face-on angle, you'll see that my elbow is in front of my wrist. So it's almost beating my wrist to the golf ball. What we don't want to see is this movement where the elbow starts to move out, okay, this position almost in this scooping action through impact. And we wouldn't want to also see, if I hold this again, this trail arm and elbow getting very high. So it's as high as my wrist upwards here. We want to try and keep it flexed and low. Now you'll see when I get the wrong trail elbow position, see how my lead hand here comes in towards my body. And that's what I really want you to focus on. If I am pulling my hand down, the handle of the golf club down, you will see how I lose the external movement of this trail arm shoulder here at the start of the downswing. So my hand and the handle has to be going a little bit down and out in front of me as I make that movement to keep my elbow in the right position. Now this is the same position I would be if I was skimming a stone, throwing a ball. I wouldn't want to see this position with the trail arm. I'd want it to be low, flexed in front of my body, and you can see it's beating my wrist to almost where the golf ball would be in this stored up delivery position. So huge for a power source, maintaining that lag angle, but it's also going to help improve our swing path. So good training aid. The feel there for me, okay, is that my trail elbow is going to stay pointing down, and it's going to stay pointing down, so it's almost feeling like it is as low as I can keep it in front of my hip, and my wrist is going to feel like it is behind the elbow. Okay, so my elbow is beating my wrist to the golf ball in this position. And that's going to help me also keep that club behind my hands. But as I said, to achieve that, you'll see my hands have to work a little bit out in front of me. If I am pulling the handle down, you will see my elbow starts to work internally, my shoulder works internal, and the club shaft gets very steep, very vertical. That's where a lot of golfers are at. They're trying to pull the handle down in the transition movements. They get into the top and they're trying to pull the handle down. Now, I have asked a number of golfers to feel like their arms are falling, but that's very different to pulling the handle down. So I might even get golfers, especially those who are swinging out to in and slicing it, to feel like their hands drop and they get closer towards their trail thigh. But that's not reality, because as soon as we add rotation, you can see my hands are then working out in front of my body. So the sensation at the start of the downswing might be that my arms are dropping, but as soon as we add rotation, you'll see my hands are working out in front of me. And that's allowing me to keep my trail arm there in that ready position, in that stored up position, okay? Where my elbow is low and my elbow is in front of my wrist from this face-on camera into impact. We don't want to see this movement. So the wrong position with that trail arm and shoulder here, working very high. You can see throwing the lag away, this angle between my left arm and the club shaft. Also throwing the club out in front of me, or pulling the handle down. And again, you can see the trail elbow is very high. Now I'm in this very stuck position. What do I have to do? Generally lose a lot of posture, get out the way. So the important part to take from this is that our hands have to work a little bit out in front of us to allow my trail arm to stay in this position where the elbow is low and the wrist is behind the elbow, okay, from the face on camera. This is my stored up delivery position I'm really looking for. So I'm just trying to get that sensation of what my trail arm and shoulder's doing at the start of the downswing, and it's definitely not this position here at all with that trail arm. It's definitely this position. Flexed in front of me, wrist is behind the elbow. It's not a conscious thought I'm going to take to the golf course, but definitely something I can train and I can feel in my practice swings as I start that movement. Let's go ahead and hit one. Pretty happy with that ball flight. Just finishing a touch right of target, but a nice flight. Concept felt good. Having done some of those exercises, could I sense my trail arm elbow position? Absolutely, having done some of those drills, especially using that training aid there as well from PMG Golf. Really got that sensation of what the trail elbow is doing. It's a great one to feel that flex position. I also love golfers just doing a simple skimming exercise. They're trying to keep their elbow flexed, keep the wrist behind the elbow. Now I'm in a position where I can skim or deliver that spear. So I've done some videos quite recently talking about that trail arm position and the spearing action. I will put some links here that I think are well worth checking out. Of course, I can then just put that into a smaller movement to hit some shots from there, almost getting used to what it's like to hit a golf ball from that delivery position into impact. So it doesn't always have to be a full swing when you're working on those training exercises. And actually a lot of this could be done at home. It doesn't always have to be on the driving range. Not necessarily a conscious thought I'm going to take to the golf course, but if you can improve the movement here of your shoulder and the elbow on your trail side, for me as a right-hander, the right side, it's vital to improving my path and help me maintain that lag. Remember, it's not a pulling action. The arms will be falling as you start to rotate, and that means your arms are working a little bit out in front of you. The golf ball is out in front of you. We're working on this arc shape, so our arms have to return that way. It is true that I have done videos talking about letting these arms fall, but as I said, that's very different to that pulling action. I hope that video has helped and cleared up some of the points in the downswing there. I'd love to get some feedback from you guys, so drop some info in the comments box and any videos you'd like me to film that could be helpful to you. I film at least 2 instructional videos a week. Right now, YouTube is suggesting the next video of mine that will be relevant for you, and it's just here, so click on it and check it out.